Well, hello, and thank you for joining us tonight. I am David with Philippine American Couple. My beautiful wife is busy working outside doing things while I'm in here talking to you guys. Welcome to another episode of this is our Philippine Experience. We're going to tell you basically what we go through, what we've happened, um, things I've seen, heard, done, whatever it is, maybe. Just kind of give you a recap of what it's really like for us to be here in Cebu City. So let me first start with first world problems. All right. Um, if you know this term, what it means is in the first world, we have it so well that when we go to a different country, we we kind of forget how blessed we have it. So one of the things that strikes me this week is tap water. You know, here in the Philippines, nobody drinks the tap water. And I'm assuming it's because it's not treated as well as it is in the United States. So, yes, I miss being able to go to the faucet and get some tap water. I miss using the tap water for additional ice if I need it. Here, our refrigerator obviously is so small, it doesn't have a built in ice maker, first world problem. And of course, it's not hooked up to the plumbing here because of the water conditions. So I really miss tap water and ice. So we make ice, don't get me wrong, but it just is not, this abundance is what you may be used to coming from the United States. Now, we currently are staying in literally the heart of the city. Now, we're not in a development, we're not in a neighborhood, we're just in a house stuck in the middle of a bunch of businesses by some apartment complexes. So, let me tell you a little bit about this type of living. So, one, I tell you, I find it interesting, and I guess this is totally normal, but every morning, bright and early, and I mean bright and early, forget the roosters. Look, anybody can deal with roosters. Bright and morning, every morning, some lady walks down the road selling or screaming, yelling, advertising that she's selling rice and buns. And I'm just like, I really don't need to wake up to somebody, advertising selling rice and buns, but every morning. And I get she's trying to make a living, and maybe people like that and take advantage of it. There's my beautiful wife, and but it's one of those things that it's taken me, or well, maybe I haven't got used to it. So that's an interesting one. The lady selling rice and buns at 5 a.m. So one of the things you'll find is like when you go to the supermarket here in the Philippines. You know, you will have a whole section at that store that is local brands, which I think is really good. I think, companies in America miss this mark. You know, they ought to have a section that sells nothing but local products, local brand, Philippine brand, American brand, and have that where you can easily find it and go, oh, look, this is all products from the Philippines or the U.S. or Canada, whatever it may be. So that's something that's actually I really like. And the really good news about all of that, guys, is it's a lot cheaper. I mean, there's just no question how much cheaper the local brands are than the imported brands, of course. But with that being said, grocery prices run I would say almost the same as in the US for like a bottle of Coke, but if you get the Philippine version, it's really cheap. If you get Doritos, it's almost what we pay in the US, but if you get the Philippine version, it's like 5 pesos. I mean, really, really cheap. So keep that in mind. Restaurants we've been to, we even in the United States, we ate out a lot because that's what we like to do. But here in the Philippines, um, we've been to a couple restaurants where, and I'll tell you, we went to one, and I really like these type of restaurants. They're outdoor, they're airy. It reminds you kind of like being in the Caribbean or in Belize, Honduras, Aruba, where you get to sit outside and enjoy the fresh air. But we went to one, and I'll tell you, we had three of us, and it was all you could eat seafood. And I mean, all you could eat seafood, clams and oysters, crabs, shrimp, and pre-cooked, and some weren't. And they would bring the little hibachi thing with over to the table and cook for you. And I mean everything, chicken, you name it, the fixins, all kinds of stuff. So for three people, it cost us less than $38, including drinks. Less than 38 bucks. All the seafood you could eat for three people, including drinks, guys. That's a steal. So that's really nice. Um, like we went to another one's called AA Barbecue over on MacTan, and I think they have a couple here around this region too. But it's an outdoor atmosphere, and one thing I really like about that restaurant is their Four Seasons or mango juices are just really good. They have all kinds of fruit packed in them, so it's basically a fruit infused juice, and it's just really good. And during a hot day, man, I'm telling you, you can't beat some of that. And once again, it's really cheap. Well, let me tell you about an item that I found that was not cheap, and those are TVs. So now they have cheap TVs if you want a cheap TV, but if you want a good quality TV, you're going to have to pay more for it than what I would have paid in the United States. All right, but before you guys start thinking, well, great, I'm going to ship my TVs over when I come here. No. By the time you ship it, pack it, and you pay all that cost, you're not saving any money. I'm just telling you that it's not going to be the same price as in the United States. But you're still not going to save money by sending yours over here. So just kind of keep that in mind. Electronics can be a little pricey. Goods like that might be a little bit more than you think they would be, being so close to Korea and China and everywhere else. I'm a little taken back by, oh wow, the electronics are a little pricey. Now, if you haven't already done so, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and hit that alert bell for us. We greatly appreciate that. Now, one thing that you guys are going to want to really look into doing and using is the Grab app. So, Grab here literally, is like your taxis, but you can also order food through Grab, your groceries through Grab. So what I like about it, it's kind of like a multi-service, one-stop app for all the things that you kind of need. So, when you come here, make sure you download that and utilize that. It'll save you a lot of hassle and time. You won't have to grab a taxi and go run somewhere. You can order it. You can put your profile in there. We've been using it some, and it seems to work really well. And but what I was impressed by was how many different things that it actually can do that you can do with it. So you can hook a wallet to it, so you don't have to give anybody cash, any of that type of stuff. So that's a nice feature, the Grab app. So here at our short-term rental, um, I found that, we had a problem with the refrigerator that's in this property. We've had a lot of problems with the property, to be honest. Mosquito infestation, like you can't believe. It's filthy. It's dirty. So, but this is our short-term rental. So, but they sent over a repair guy to look at the refrigerator. The seal around the door, and the door wasn't sealing right. So, basically, everything you put in there didn't stay cold. What I really enjoyed about the repairman was they basically came with no tools. No tools. So they showed up and had to borrow tools so that they could do any work on the refrigerator that they came to work on. Yeah, no tools. So that was interesting. So if you're asking, well, what do you guys' day normally like here? Well, right now we're so busy trying to find land to build a house on that, boy, let me tell you, we spend a lot of time in a car. So we spend a lot of time. back and forth, from Mactan Island up to Leland, all the way around looking for lots. Now, I will have to just flatly tell you guys, I've been very disappointed in what's available or what we've been shown is available. I'll tell you one thing that is quite a bit different from here in the United States is when I purchase land and properties in America, it's a little bit more, matter of fact in business. You want to, my agent, may go, okay, look, we're going to look at property on over here. We go look at it. Maybe the other agent shows up. Maybe she doesn't. It doesn't really matter. We look at the property. Here, a lot of times, the sales pitch is so strong by the listing agent that, and the society is so polite that our real estate agent doesn't want to tell her no. Well, look, I don't have a problem saying no. But then we get dragged to go look at four other pieces of property, and they just keep getting worse. So if I didn't like your best property, why are you going to show me all these other properties that are worse? But polite society says, oh yeah, we got to go look at all this, and it's a big waste of time. So being efficient in property hunting currently is not where we're at. We're not being efficient, but that's okay. I think that's just the way it's done here. Now, let me lead into that is there's no question, and I hate to say this because I know every country has this. I know every country has bias towards people that are not native to that country. In the United States, we're very racist towards different countries, different skin colors. In the Philippines, it's not a negative racism. It's kind of like a positive. It's like, oh, well, they see the white guy or the light skinned guy or the guy from Australia or American or New Zealand, whatever, Germany, whatever it may be, and they don't think bad. They think the opposite. They start thinking dollar signs. And so Lorelei can be on the phone negotiating and talking and doing all kinds of things. And then things change once I come into the picture. It's like if somebody's quoting us a building price of 4 million per or 4 million for a 100 square meter home, then all of a sudden in conversation, well, it's really maybe 5 or 6 million because they see a dollar sign. And I understand that everybody wants money and everybody's greedy, and I get that worldwide. But it's definitely prevalent here. So it's kind of weird dynamics. We may discriminate you negatively in the United States, meaning this. So instead of us going, okay, we're going to charge you more to build your house, the bad people in our country will just say, well, we don't like you, so we're not going to build your house. You know, in the Philippines, it's the opposite. It's like, oh, we think you have more money, so we're going, no matter whether we're going to try to get it. In the United States, it kind of goes the other way. No matter how much money you have, if we're prejudiced against you, we're not going to build your house. So it's kind of one of those weird, interesting dynamics that you kind of have to get used to. Hopefully, guys, that makes sense. All right. So remember, I'm going to try to keep these short. So here's my last thing. My last thing is Lorelei has been able to catch up with her friends and visit with them, and they're excited about getting together and doing things. And so when your spouse, when they come over here, they're going to have a lot of ups and downs, of course, but they're going to really look forward to that. And you got to let them embrace their friends and families and try to be with them, because that's partly in large part why we even came here. Remember, we moved here to be in warm weather, and so Lorelai can be towards her family, so and friends, and so she's getting to do that. She's kind of getting back into her groove. A lot of laughter on the phone. Now they are still going through the vaccine process here. A lot of people are still being vaccinated, which is great. You'll go to the mall and see 100 people lined up waiting for a vaccine. I think that's great. So once you get vaccinated here, you can get out and about and do things. If you're not vaccinated, there's a lot of restaurants. The rule is you can't eat anywhere if you're not vaccinated. You got to show your vaccination card to eat at McDonald's. So some check it, some don't. But for the people that are unvaccinated, they can't get out and about and travel and do things. So yeah, it's good for Lorelai to get back in touch with everybody and to make it easier for her efforts to do that. All right, guys, remember to subscribe, like, share. We greatly appreciate you. And if you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to let us know. You can message us on Facebook. If you have any deep subjects you want to talk about, or if you have any questions or anything that you'd like for us to figure out for you, we'll be happy to try to do that. All right, take care and see you next time.